Hello, everybody. What's up? Welcome back to Chameleon Podcast. And today I have my main man, RJ. How we doing today, bro?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty well, to be honest. Yeah.
Nice. It's good to know everyone's doing well, man. Like, today has just been wild. We were trying to, originally we were supposed to start at 1 today, but, like, stuff just kept popping up.
Oh yeah. Yeah, things just started popping off, I had my I got a call yesterday to go to my sister's place at like 12 for her birthday or whatever, but it wasn't even her birthday today. Her birthday is like the 27th. And then I ended up staying there for a while, because that's how family parties be.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, that's how my day went so far.
Yeah, man, it's good to know it wasn't chaotic, man. Like,
Oh
me,
no.
like me and my girlfriend Michelle, we went to get pedicures because I've never had one before, and she was like, "Well, your feet are like the living dead, so let's get that taken care of."
I've gotten a pedicure before. I love getting pedicures. I've gotten a pedicure with my mom. It was actually pretty nice.
Oh yeah, man! Like they use some kind of like bagged honey that was like really hot, but once it settles,
Oh
it just like
yeah,
peels off. Yeah.
it's good. It feels good.
Oh yeah, really good. So, on the show is still fairly new. So, like, there are things I normally have people just, we normally just, talk about whatever. But I try to do get like at least three topics in, just to talk about. And
For sure.
like, obviously,
Um,
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
so I mean, obviously, if you want, we could talk about pro wrestling because right now the pro wrestling world's like just wild at the moment.
Oh yeah, like with like Will Ospreay challenging Punk, and Punk is like pending right now.
Yeah, Punk is right now. He is finding the best possible deal right now,
hmm
which is funny. I mean, he he's whatever job he ends up going for, right? He's gonna end up making major money, and it's gonna be a bank day for him because as soon as fans see him, they're just gonna go ballistic. Um, and then AEW wants to like one thing that I heard was that JR wants Osprey in AEW.
I mean, who doesn't?
He's one of the top wrestlers in the world right now. And you know what? Kenny can't even say he's better than him in his promos. He doesn't want to. He can't.
Yeah, it's like he knows he doesn't want that smoke. Like honestly,
He doesn't.
yeah, like I watched Will Ospreay versus Kushida, like I think it was like at Rev Pro or somewhere, and like it was just amazing, man. I was just like just blown away what he was doing.
Yeah. It's incredible. And another huge thing that's been going on is just New Japan wants to work with more companies, and they're doing the same thing. In my eyes, they're doing the same thing that AEW is kind of doing. Is they're doing the double title thing, where they made the cup a title now, which is kind of cool, if I do say so myself. Um, and then AAA wants to get involved with that too. Lucha's now getting better and better.
hmm
I think what's going to end up happening is AEW is going to have their finger in every pie now because that's just what it is. I mean, AEW wants to talk business, whereas WWE doesn't want to do business. But WWE, Vince doesn't want to do business, whereas Triple H wants to do business. Triple H, I think, if it were him, he'd be all over this
Oh, definitely.
because he wants these young talents. Like Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks got a call right after the Darby Allin match. Right after his Darby Allin match, he got a call and he said, "Hey, kid, what if we gave you this?" And he declined because he knew it was going to happen.
hmm
So people are starting to read the walls of the room, and they're starting to realize that WWE is just buying people to keep in the back. And EC3 is the perfect example of it. EC3 was kept in the back room a majority of the time.
Oh yeah.
Like I couldn't even believe it. The top guy of TNA
What is in the back?
shoved in the back. Abyss, another big one. Abyss
Oh,
took a developmental role rather than a
wrestling role.
wrestling role. I can't even believe it. Mickey James recently Mickey James and Samoa Joe getting tossed away like they're trash.
Oh, did you see the
Um,
trash bag thing?
I did not see the trash bag thing. What do you mean?
Okay, so the guy who was originally charged of talent sent Mickey James' stuff in a garbage bag to her with some kind of letter saying, "Well, trash belongs back with trash." And
Wow.
yeah, Triple H was not happy.
No, I know. I saw that he had fired someone. I thought it was for the post that someone had made or something like that. But that's insane. I, you know, WWE has awful talent relations. Awful, awful. I really hope that they step their game up because it's ridiculous. I I love the Fiend. I love Bray Wyatt, but he is being treated like absolute garbage in that company. I think Sami Zayn also is being treated like garbage. I think Kevin Owens is being treated like garbage. Kevin Owens at the very least can make crap into gold, and he is proving that. Anything you throw at Kevin Owens, he can make good.
Hmm.
The problem is he doesn't have a title. He doesn't have a title.
And that's
Why
really
why
weird.
why isn't he world champion? Well, you know who is world champion right now? Bobby Lashley. And you know why he can't even do a promo? You have MVP doing promos for him, whereas you have Kevin Owens just sitting there. He could do a promo with his eyes closed. And I don't get it. What's the problem? It's not that they're not sellable either. Like you could clearly sell, and also Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre held the title, and I can barely remember his title reign. What are you writing for these people?
You want to know what I really think it is?
What?
Okay, so so whenever this happened, I call it out. So whenever someone from like a promotion who was like the top dog there or like who was really good and they come to WWE, I think WWE tries their homegrown guys and be like, oh well, our guys is better than them. They came from
Yeah,
lower promotions.
and but the only exception I see to that, here's the only exception, is AJ Styles. Because
True.
the only reason why, so they like the idea of AJ Styles. I think that is why they've pushed AJ Styles to the moon. They like the idea of AJ Styles being that champion because then he has held. AJ Styles is essentially today's Chris Jericho because he's held those titles and stuff. I mean, realistically, today's Chris Jericho is Kenny Omega, and it's unfortunate that WWE can't actually be a good promotion and give Kenny Omega an actual deal and any of those guys an actual deal, or the Bucks, or any of them. AEW is going to be the future of pro wrestling.
Oh, 100%
Is
agree.
what it is. AEW. This past show was incredible. I loved every minute of Ty Conti's match. I really liked Darby Allin's match with Jungle Boy. Darby Allin's match with Jungle Boy was a main event match, and that is hard to say when it comes to WWE's main events. WWE's main events are garbage, and you know what they're hanging on is the coattails of the women division, because the women's division in WWE is great, but I just don't get it. I don't get how they can mess up so much sometimes. Charlotte Flair is always getting a title shot. I don't get that. Once Becky Lynch is back, we're going to see a whole lot of her. Ahsoka should be one of the bigger talents they have, but because of the language barrier, it's a little complicated. But Bailey and Sasha Banks seem to always have heat, which is cool. They either have heat or they're best friends. But that's my problem with it with WWE is that I can read the room. AEW, I can't tell what to expect. Like with Miro right now, I do not know what Miro is going to do. I have no idea.
I think he's gonna turn on Skip. I think or Kip. I mean,
he's going to turn on Kip, and that's what he's done. I think he's abandoned Kip because Kip Sabian is dumb. I hate to say it, Kip Sabian is dumb. I don't get Kip Sabian. I like Penelope Ford. She's cool, but I don't get Kip Sabian. Kip Sabian's dumb. Kip Sabian is the tag of Penelope Ford because Penelope Ford's an actual talent. It's not like Joey. It's not like Joey Janela. Joey Janela is fantastic for what he is. Joey Janela is a trash bag, but like you watch him because he's a trash bag. What is Kip Sabian? Kip Sabian is Penelope Ford's bitch. That's what they booked him as.
I mean, you're right.
They booked him as Penelope Ford's bitch, and that's how it ended up. So, I mean, those are my thoughts on that in particular. I think Jungle. So here are my young talents list. If I had to make a list of young talents that are going to be the biggest stars in pro wrestling that AEW has, it's Jungle Boy, it's MJF, Ricky Starks, Darby Allin, and recently I would like to say Scorpio Sky, Ethan Page. Those guys are looking fantastic. Will Hobbs is another massive young guy.
Yeah.
Will Hobbs. WWE should be kicking themselves over not picking up Will Hobbs.
Exactly. He's a perfect monster.
They have two big. Well, actually, let's count how many monsters that AEW actually has, because they have Bear Country.
True.
They have Bear Country. They have Luchasaurus, who I'd consider a monster. They have Brian Cage. They have Will Hobbs. They have Nick Camarado, who's hairy as hell. And they unfortunately they had Brody Lee, and Brody Lee was supposed to be their guy. I think if Brody Lee was living, he would have been their Undertaker.
Oh yeah.
If I had to be frank. But it's unfortunate that plans had to go the way that they did. That's what fate has in store sometimes. But
they did him so much justice with that tribute show, man. I cried, bro.
I did too. That tribute show is incredible. And that's what WWE should have probably done. Instead, they delayed their tribute to him. So, hats off to them. WWE likes to screw around. They didn't even give him a 10-bell salute, which was insulting because he had only been out of the company for like a year. But the rest of the locker room wanted a tribute. And, unfortunately, WWE didn't want to give him that kind of tribute. It's Vince and his cronies that are in charge, and that's unfortunate.
It really is. It's like whenever I watch a WWE product, it's not even for long. It's just to see what's going on. It's just like the Miz and John Morrison are doing something. Speaking of John Morrison, right quick, I hate that he came back. He was good everywhere else until he came back to WWE.
I don't mind his run in WWE currently. Here's why. I like that he's with Miz. I just don't like what they're doing with Miz and John Morrison. I don't get it. Are they supposed to be comic relief?
Basically.
It's stupid. John Morrison everywhere else, Johnny Nitro everywhere else was
champ.
Was big dude. He was big. He was the big shot.
Yeah. Champ.
You bring him to WWE. You stick him back with the Miz, which was fine. Great choice. I think they got the tag titles once. And then that was it. And then I'm like, this is stupid. Like, Miz and John Morrison should have had a main event match against the New Day. Imagine how good that would have been if they actually booked it right. But they didn't. They don't book anything right these days. They book garbage. They book absolute garbage. Sheamus is great. I love Sheamus. I don't think anyone can hate Sheamus. I like a lot of WWE's talents. I want to see more Murphy. Murphy's one of the only young talents they have. Aleister Black,
Oh,
Keith Lee, Aleister Black, Keith Lee, um, Bloody Murphy, whatever you want to call him. Um, who else do they have that's just good?
Ruby.
NXT's lot, Ruby Riot, yeah. NXT's entire locker room is pretty solid. Gotta say, Karrion Kross should be moved to the main slot in WWE. I know what's gonna end up happening, but I know he deserves it. He deserves to be up there, but they're gonna push him down here, and that's unfortunate. They're gonna do the same thing with Adam Cole when and if they do that. Adam Cole's great.
He is.
Adam Cole is fantastic.
He's our Shawn Michaels.
But they're never gonna push him the way that they do now on NXT. Because he's small, because he's not big.
I love how WWE is still like in the mindset. Oh, we need big, oily men to get to sell tickets. I'm like, okay, Daniel Bryan, Rey Mysterio. Chris Benoit. Chris Benoit was a small guy. Went back in the day, but he was still sellable. Who else?
I think Chris Benoit got away with it because he was jacked. That's the big thing. So steroid stuff is very, very much a big pinnacle issue now with WWE or whatever. So they make sure that they're not on steroids. Medical staff make sure they're not on steroids.
True.
Jinder Mahal, I don't know where the hell Jinder Mahal came from, but he got massive. Jinder Mahal got so big. I love Jinder. Which, if we want to push big guys, where the fuck is Jinder? Jinder's great. Like, I want to see more Jinder. I like Drew McIntyre. I'd love to see Drew McIntyre more. And I want to see him write his own promos because his promos were written for him, and it's unfortunate. And he was put against a bunch of people for his title that he shouldn't have been. I would have loved to see Daniel Bryan versus Drew McIntyre. See, they've done it again. They've done it where SmackDown is the small guy's title, where it's all movement, and Raw's title is the big guy's title. This is just, it's stupid. It's stupid. Why does it need to be this way? I would have loved if. Also, can we talk about like Randy Orton right now?
Go ahead.
I just don't. Randy Orton's one of the best wrestlers in the world.
True.
Cool. I can accept that. I can accept that Randy Orton's one of the best wrestlers in the world. JR even said Randy Orton's one of the best wrestlers in the world. Because he has consistency. Anywhere he goes, he'll do the same thing. But what is the deal with this stupid Bray Wyatt rivalry, this stupid Alexa Bliss nonsense? It was good in the beginning, but then they drained it out of its energy. I'm so over it now. I want Randy Orton to face other people now. I also want Randy Orton to sort of be Randy Orton again in the sense of just go out there and take the title at this point. I want Randy Orton to be champion. I don't care anymore because WWE doesn't know what to do with other people. So make it that give Randy Orton to Bobby Lashley and have Randy Orton and Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania or something.
Now that's
because clearly, I mean, they're not going to bring back Brock, or unless we don't know, maybe they'll bring back Brock for the millionth time and Brock takes the title again. Which is Brock deserving of it? Probably. Brock is one of their super athletes and whatever. But he's not that same guy that he was years ago. Is he going to do a shooting star press?
I was just going to bring that up.
Like, no, he's not. He's not that young anymore. He's not going to do a shooting star press. He's not going to do a big match like how he did. Okay? Like, people need to get it out of their heads. Brock is in it for the money, and he's just not doing it anymore. And as soon as people saw Brock's contract, they jumped on it. John Cena is on a Brock contract right now, where if The Rock is on a Brock contract. If The Rock wanted to, he can go to WWE, he could do work, and he has full control over what that work is going to be. And that almost led to a Roman Reigns heel turn, which it should have been. So this is another topic change in the world of pro wrestling. When Roman Reigns first won the Royal Rumble, that Daniel Bryan should have won.
Wait.
Reigns.
Was that the one where Roman Reigns single-handedly defeated Kane and who was it? The other Big Show, right? He tossed him out. Miro
or Rusev.
Yeah.
All of a sudden they wanted Rusev, and then he what do you call? He Superman punched him, and he got him out. Everyone was so mad. Everyone was so mad.
You want to know something sad? That like when that happened, I wasn't even watching wrestling because like I was just drained out after Punk left, and like I haven't been paying attention. And then seeing that, because I knew who Roman Reigns was, my little brother was a huge fan of him back in the day, and I'm like, I don't like this guy, and like I just stopped watching still until All In. I literally came back.
All In was a great pay-per-view. Here's the thing. Roman Reigns was a part of the Shield, and the Shield was great. The Shield was a fantastic thing. And all of a sudden, they said Roman Reigns was the guy. And now he's a great bad guy right now. And I will acknowledge that. But he's not the top guy. And WWE needs to get over it. He's not the top guy. He's not the guy. He's not any of that. He's not the top worker because Daniel Bryan has already proven that he is the top worker. Sorry, not sorry. Roman Reigns, and he got caught. This is what pisses me off. He got caught doing steroids and immediately gets put back.
What?
Like, what are you talking about? Like,
he did?
Yeah, like this was like during a certain point they suspended him for steroid use. They found out he was on steroids, and then they were like, okay, so he's back. And it's like, if anyone else were suspended and they weren't top guy, that wouldn't have happened.
It really wouldn't
have. That's so stupid. And it's all because he's The Rock's cousin.
Oh, Nia Jax too. Like, she's The Rock's cousin, and she's damn near breaking everyone's neck.
She's botching every match.
Oh, did you watch the shit when she busted Io Shirai's face?
No, I did not. Oh my god.
Yeah, like she was going for like something and then like just smashed her face against the ring pole.
God. She's such a lummox. Here's the thing, like, and I don't mean that in a merely offensive way, but like, come on.
Dude, here's the thing.
Like Nia, like, and you could do big women.
Yeah, you can. Karma, Nyla, what was it?
Nyla Rose.
Nyla Rose, thank you. ODB from TNA. You remember her?
Yeah, ODB was great.
Oh, yeah.
And I think she's shaping up for an AEW spot. I can already tell you that. I think ODB is going to make an appearance in AEW at some point. Because AEW is picking up a lot of Impact talents. That or she's shaping up for an Impact return. Taya Valkyrie is going to WWE, which is great, but unfortunate because Taya Valkyrie is great and should be just in AEW. But who knows? Everyone that's good should go to AEW. I'm that kind of fan right now,
bro. I am too. Like when I heard Sting was going there, I flipped my shit, bro.
Sting went there, and now he is a permanent. I think he's a permanent staple to AEW, which is great. It's great for business. he is their Undertaker right now because that's just how it is. He is their Undertaker. Um, because he's this dark, protruding character that comes out with all this special effects and stuff of that nature, and it's great.
It is. Like I th-
Um,
oh, go ahead.
I think, I think eventually, it's going to come to the point where he's going to have these special matches. I see a match. So here's my fantasy matches that Sting is going to get. Sting's going to get a match against Chris Jericho because it hasn't happened.
Oh yeah, it
Chris
has.
Jericho versus Sting, like a bow out match would be great. I also would like to see Sting go against Darby because that needs to happen. There's going to be a point where Darby is going to have to turn heel, maybe at some point. It's not going to be anytime soon, but yes, Sting versus Darby Allin would be a great match. Matt Hardy versus Sting
Ooh.
would be a good match. At the Hardy compound, I want to see another Hardy compound match.
You know,
If Sting only does cinematic matches, I won't be disappointed.
you know what? I love cinematic matches because okay, admittedly I watched the AJ Styles versus Undertaker one because that was legit dope. Is why are people
Incredible match.
like why are people giving them such flack? Like I kind of like the John Cena Bray Wyatt one, but
That was
it's
a pretty good one.
like I just don't understand why people are giving them so much flack. It's like it's wrestling. We all know it's not real, but
Yes.
it's still entertainment. It's cool stuff. You know, like these guys are legit athletic though, but they're also good actors. You know.
The Darby Allin Sting versus Brian Cage, Ricky Starks match was absolutely masterful. The Sammy Guevara and Matt Hardy match was incredible. Cinematic matches are good, and anyone who's saying different is stupid.
Thank you.
Like, anyone who's saying different needs to just shut their mouths and actually watch a cinematic match because they're good. It's good television.
It really is. It's like we have those hardcore wrestling fans who are just like, oh, all these new ideas are stupid. You should keep it back how it was with the AWA. I'm like, well, there's a reason the AWA failed, my mans.
Yeah. And that's one big thing is that this is different. So pro wrestling is different now, and it's going to keep getting different because soon MLW is going to be coming to Vice TV.
Really?
Yeah, that was a major move that happened a couple days ago. They're going to come to Vice TV, which if that leads to an AEW crossover, I want to see the Briscoes take on the Bucks.
Oh,
Briscoes and the Bucks would sell out seats.
bro, that's a dream tag team match right there.
It is Briscoes and the Bucks.
Yeah,
That would be incredible. And I also want to see the Bucks versus the Good Brothers. I would love to see that, but that's not going to happen now.
because Bullet Club is reunion thing, right?
Well, and I like it and I don't like it. So now they're teasing Tama Tonga to come to AEW and be like the third for Eddie Kingston and John Moxley. But does he fit in? I don't know. I think Eddie Kingston and John Moxley need to come up with a crew, maybe, and that would be really cool. Eddie Kingston's incredible.
Eddie Kingston. He is, but you know who would fit in perfectly with them for their third?
Who?
Tomo Ishishi.
Huh. I didn't think of that.
The Stone Pitbull, man, bring him in.
Just bring him in.
You bring him in.
I mean, anyone would be good. You know what I mean? Jeff Cobb.
Ooh.
Jeff Cobb.
That'd be really, bro. I dead ass would pay full prices just to see that.
Jeff Cobb was really good when he showed up to fill in a spot on AEW. You remember that when Jericho was just like, "Hey, you know Jeff Cobb? Well, he's our enforcer today." I'm like, "What?
Bro.
Why is Jeff Cobb here?" He was
dude.
only here a couple of times, and then he was like, "I'm not a part of the inner circle." Just to let you guys know.
like it's just kind of crazy. It's just kind of like crazy to know that like literally in AEW anything can happen. Like
Yep.
like the whole Forbidden Door thing I thought was BS, but then Tony Khan was like, "Oh, hi there," just
Yeah.
peeks his head
Tony
through.
Khan makes things. He makes things happen, man. And Miro is going to be a big deal. I see Miro being a big deal potentially. I think he's gonna be one of the next people to go after once John Moxley and Kenny's feud is done.
He's
I
going for a
think
title.
he, I think he's gonna go after Kenny.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't think it's gonna be a Darby thing. I think because Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky are gonna be a big deal. But I
yeah,
think,
they're shaping up like they are. Yeah,
but I think Miro is going after. I think he's going after Kenny. I don't think they're blowing punches here. I think all of a sudden Tony Khan's just going to be like, Kenny, you have a match at this pay-per-view and you're never going to guess who it's with because it's with Miro. And then boom,
he just runs out, beats the
because
shit
the
out of you.
man is the best man. And it'll be a heel versus heel match, and I'm going to be all for it. I mean,
I mean, we got like turning on other heels with the MJF. The Pinnacle shocked me. I'm not gonna lie. Like it was obvious it was gonna happen, but we didn't know that like it'd be like that.
I didn't know who the crew was. I knew that MJF was going to come out with a surprise, but I didn't know who exactly the crew was going to be. FTR being a part of it, oh, fantastic. Who else being a part of it was
Sean
great.
Spears.
I mean, Wardlow, obviously. Sean Spears was okay. You know, I think they're going to push him better than they have been.
Yeah.
The Pinnacle is going to be the thing for them, though. The Pinnacle is good. I like the Pinnacle. I think potentially the Pinnacle is going to be the better inner circle because the inner circle turned into comic relief.
Oh, real
I
fast.
hope the inner circle loses in this blood and guts match because that's how it should be. You add Wardlow to the equation and it's over. I'm sorry. Wardlow is better than Jake Hager. Jake Hager is dumb. Jake Hager's a racist. I'm not gonna pull any punches here. Jake Hager is a hardcore Republican. He's racist. Yeah, that's why they worked the We the People fucking shtick. It's because they know his ideology.
Oh boy.
He is. I don't like Jake Hager. He's not I'm not a fan of Jake Hager. I like his work. I just don't like him as a person.
I mean, hey, that's fine, man. Like you remember Lars Sullivan, right?
Yes.
I despised him as a wrestler and as a person, cause like he was well, like being very misogynistic to what was her name? She was like really nice. I cannot remember her name, but like she spoke out against him, and then like all his comments got leaked from some website. He was being like really conservative and like not like okay, it was racist. I try not to be mean, but it was racist.
Wait, you're talking about Lars Sullivan in the yeah, I and you know what the weird thing is I don't think he's released yet. Is he released yet?
Oh, I think he's been released.
Has he been released? Did I just not know that?
Yeah, he made
I love that it took so long for him to
Go ahead. Hello?
Yeah, I think I'm checking right now if Lars Sullivan got released. No, he is. Yeah, he's gone. Okay.
Yeah, I think he got released last year.
Yeah, because he's a piece of garbage.
Oh yeah. Like me personally, like I have this thing where it's like, okay, if you're bully, a misogynistic and racist, how'd you get this job? You obviously knew somebody. Like that's the only way he could have got in. He knew somebody.
This is the only way. You know who else is low key racist? Is or high key, I should say. that that has not come back to wrestling yet is Tessa Blanchard. Tessa Blanchard is only out because people caught her being racist towards New Japan people and uh, towards AAA people and toward black people, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, Tessa, you got caught, hun.
I remember hearing about that. It was fuck. Yeah. It was after her Impact win of the championship,
Right.
and people called her out on it, and she was like, "Everyone's being mean to me, so I'm gonna take a mental break or something."
Everyone's being mean. Everyone's being mean because I'm racist. I'm an asshole, but like you don't have to treat me like I am an asshole. That's not right. People who are racist that don't expect to be treated like shit should honestly take a good look in the mirror and just say, "Wow, I actually should be treated like an asshole. I can't even believe it."
Yeah, like okay, so this has been a thing for me lately. I've been watching this thing called Karens in the Wild, and just pretty much people
Yeah.
catching just people like being complete assholes. And like there
Right,
was
right.
this one lady who was messing with these teenagers, black teenagers,
Sure.
and they were just like
Yeah.
mind their own business. She walks up to them, "Where are your parents? Why are you out so late? You don't belong in this neighborhood." And they're just like, "Who are you?"
Who are you? And that's a good response. Yeah. Oh my god.
Man,
It's just
it's crazy.
it's just silly. It's silly that we still have like these kinds of people out in the world. They'll probably never go away until like we don't see race that much, you know, like it's just ridiculous. Um until we don't see the racism in action, then it's just not going to happen, you know what I mean?
Oh
Like
yeah.
right now I'm upset that Keith Lee is nowhere to be found. Um
Oh, bro, that hurts my soul. Cause he's really good. Like, I watched his PWG stuff, man. Like, that was insane.
he's incredible.
Oh yeah.
He's incredible.
Did you ever watch his Brian Cage fight?
I watched this Brian Cage and I watched the John Silver match, the
Oh,
John Silver match was great.
chef's kiss. Okay, sorry if
Yes.
I'm laughing too. It's so hard to find someone to talk wrestling with, man. Like
I know
whenever
what you mean.
whenever I talk to a Carter Chase, I'm not sure if you know them, but
I know Carter and Chase.
like I thought, okay, so Chase knows wrestling, but he doesn't get indie stuff, and Carter's just like, I love Macho Man when he said he was the cream of the crop, and that's pretty much where it stops.
Cream of the crop.
Yeah, like like me and Carter were constantly talking about like like '80s wrestling, because like he's familiar with the Road Warriors, Hogan, Andre the Giant, the old school
Yeah.
guys. He's familiar with them, and like it just gets to a point where like we essentially just memed the hell out of it, just talking about it.
Oh yeah, brother.
I remember there was some shit.
We're the mega powers.
Oh yeah, brother, we're gonna run wild on you.
We're gonna run wild on you. I got you for 3 minutes.
I love that still, man.
Loved Spider-Man.
I did too.
Loved Spider-Man.
No one else gets that reference.
I got you for another 3 minutes.
Oh, that was magical, man. You know, Randy Savage has a whole album dedicated to dissing Hulk Hogan, Vince McMahon.
Does he actually? That's incredible.
Look it up.
That's a
It's
blessing.
look it up. It's called "Be a Man."
That's great.
Randy Savage, Be a Man.
That's incredible. I bet you Ultimate Warrior had something like that too. He hated all of them too.
Man, like fucking everybody has something to say about Hulk Hogan, and for good reason, because it's like he was a diva back in the day, and like learning all
Yeah.
that information, like it hurt me because like I looked up to Hulk Hogan when I was younger.
Oh yeah.
Like believe it or not, I didn't cheer for The Rock back in the day. I cheered for Hogan, and I was like, "That's
I
blasphemous."
feel you. It's Hulk Hogan was he's iconic because of his look, but then you know him as a person, and you're like, oh shit, not a good dude.
Oh yeah, after the whole leaked tape of him pretty much saying the N word,
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, oof.
people aren't gonna get over it. People shouldn't get over it. They booed him at WrestleMania.
I saw it.
I've never seen. I thought Tampa Bay was gonna be like. I thought Tampa was gonna be all over him, being like, "Oh, that's good. Oh yeah," but
Mm-mm.
no, they let him have it, which was great.
Like it's so good to
And
see
then
it, but
you
at the
got
same time hurtful because it's like Titus was out there, and
Titus was trying to be good, and they cheered Titus, and then they booed Hogan. They're like, "No, we ain't over it, bro. It's not happening."
mm-mm. And like as a black man, like it feels good to know that like oh, you know people agree with the sentiment that racism is bad.
Yeah,
Cause like
it is good. No,
go ahead. Go ahead.
it's good because it needs to be squashed. It needs to be nipped in the bud. That's why we don't see Roseanne anymore, because Roseanne called somebody a monkey, and that's just not right. You don't do that.
You don't like me personally. I don't like seeing people losing their jobs, but
No,
I do like seeing them get I do like seeing justice. You know what I mean?
right. I like justice.
Like so people don't believe this, but black people can be racist too. Like when I was living in Chicago,
Oh yeah,
I was pretty much called an Oreo. I was called, oh, you want to be white so bad. I bet your dad's white. I'm like, first of all, I don't know my dad, so that's a joke on you.
yeah.
Second of all, bro, I'm just listening to Linkin Park. Chill. It was like
I'm
you
just listening to Linkin Park, guys. Calm down.
exactly. It's like people will say, "Oh, well, you talk different. You don't wear the same clothes as me. You don't do this. You're lame." And it just baffles me because I'm like, I was born in Chicago too. Like I was raised on Lawndale and West Side, whatever, and I didn't like a lot of things other people liked. It's just how I was. I preferred cartoons over BET. What's wrong with that?
Nothing wrong with that at all.
Thanks. Like,
That's right.
and coming to Addison, it was kind of a breath of fresh air, a little bit until I met the kids who wanted to go to Chicago.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of those.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, you were you in a gang?" And I'm like, No."
No, there's a lot of gang people in Addison. That's unfortunate. Wannabe gang people in Addison, and that's it sucks because it's affected a lot of people. There are people that are now addicted to drugs thanks to that mentality, and they got kids. It's a mess.
It really
I
is.
wish that someone would say something to drive the community more closer together rather than further it apart. Because right now our community is garbage. I think that we have a community that is very, very divisive. We want to talk about the people that are, not struggling, and that sucks. That really sucks. We want to talk about the people that are benefiting from people struggling, and that it's actually idiotic. We should always be trying to help people. Always, always. That should be the main goal in our town is to help people.
Dude, that was like my main mentality out there because it just kind of felt weird seeing like okay, so by the Addison Library there was like this old couple there that was had
Yeah,
problems bringing their groceries. So whenever I was around the area, I would help them bring stuff in. And they were like, oh well, here's like $5. I'm like, no, keep it. I was helping be nice.
yeah.
And it's like you don't see that a lot still. It's like I still try to help
No,
people, strangers sometimes.
Addison needs to become a town that I thought it was. You know what I mean? Like I did a lot of stuff for the community back when I was like a little kid. I was like I did the and I was forced to do it, but I like did it. You know, where you cleaned up the there was a forest preserve that you would clean up and stuff, and that was like, oh, that was helped out by Firestone. Like more companies need to be a part of that, and I think that Addison could be a better town, could be a better community if they just were there was more people involved in it and it wasn't this stupid political manner of it is right now.
Oh yeah.
Um like because there's a lot of politics involved and there's a lot of just people that don't want it, that don't want they don't want to change anything about Addison. They want it to just be divided and for it to be like low income families, they don't get help and that sucks.
Oh yeah.
I've been seeing though, however, so I've been seeing that there's like a food drive and stuff, and there's one like every week by that church, and they say they have free food when I drive past it on Addison Road, and that's pretty nice. I that I commend entirely. That was a really really cool thing that I saw.
It's so like it's so like yeah, that's definitely a good thing to see, but it's just like kind of it kind of hurts too because it's like you don't see that a lot. Like it's like
Like you
man,
didn't I where were you guys before COVID and whatever? Where were you guys? Because
I
there's
was in Mount Prospect and it was rough, man. Like the little apartment I had out there, it was cool, but it was just like there wasn't a lot of help.
no. And that's what this world needs more is more help. And I think that politicians and whatever, they should be that driving force for help. And people should be that driving force for help because eventually it will, I mean, it'll get to the point where everyone's just caring about themselves. And it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be a fight for yourself kind of thing. We should all be trying to help each other out to make life easier for everybody, not
I
I'm going to
just
strive the most for myself. You know what I mean?
Most definitely. Like working at Amazon was probably the most eye-opening thing of knowing how messed up just America
Yeah.
is because I was in like just like the nicest neighborhoods delivering all these packages, and like as soon as I got a bad report from like a really nice neighborhood, I was scolded. I was like, "Why'd you do this? Why'd you do that?" But if it were like a poor neighborhood, I didn't hear anything back, never.
Whoa.
And like shit, I had gotten a car accident when I was working for Amazon, and
Really?
yeah, I got hit by a deer. Like it just jumped out in front of me, and my seatbelt snatched off. My chest hit the steering wheel, and I couldn't breathe, man. Like it was like the scariest 20 minutes of my life, just trying to call somebody for help. And when I finally got help, when my bosses showed up, it was like, I'm so glad you're okay. Amazon's going to try and come in and talk to you about some BS, but I told them that don't do that. And Lord behold, they were trying to come in and talk to me about some shit. It's like my
That's messed
God,
up.
it is like it's like corporations care more about their product than they do than the people who make it or deliver it, whatever.
No. No, it's true.
It's like whenever they say
It's very true.
yeah, it is. It's like whenever like any job gave me like a raise, it'd be like a few cents, and then they have like everyone stop what they're doing just to come give you like pretty much what I thought were just insults. Like, oh, he has a 60 cent raise. Give him a hand, an applaud, guys. Wow, I've been here for like eight
Like it's
months and breaking my damn back just for
I haven't
this.
got yeah, just for a 60 cent per hour raise. This is ridiculous. You know, what a you know, it's a joke and jobs should be more, you know, when you're doing labor for so long, that you should be getting compensated more. In fact, every American should have health insurance. I don't understand why that's such a difficult task. Every American should have health insurance, good health insurance too. No health insurance premiums because, and just because daddy economy doesn't want. This is my thing. Like, it's all about the economy and stuff, and they're like, oh well, that'll ruin the economy because then we won't have insurance companies and meh, 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 meh. I'm like, okay, well, who cares
Hmm.
at this point? Everyone is suffering because they don't have insurance, because they cannot afford to pay for health care. So if they cannot afford to pay for health care, that's a problem.
Yeah, because fucking I saw this thing where like oh yeah, I remember now. You ever watched a movie with Matt Damon when he was a lawyer, Rainmaker,
I think I have.
and how the kid passed away because he had I think it was leukemia or something, and then like the insurance company had like all this stuff to pretty much make sure that didn't happen when they did cover it, and then
Yes.
I looked that up. It turns out they can do that unless you were to like take this to court, pay the fees and go through the whole process. That that legit happens.
It's ridiculous.
It's sad.
And it's truly, truly a problem. The fact we don't um, that we don't help Americans out, and we don't it's ridiculous. It's also ridiculous that schools can get away with what they can get away with and stuff. If we want to get into that, I don't know if we want to get into that,
Hey,
but
hey. I tell everyone. I told Will this on the first podcast. You can talk about whatever you want to because like I love hearing people's take on things because it's like everyone has something to share, and 9 out of 10 I'm always gonna want to hear it because it's like you especially I want to talk to because the Art Institute stuff, and then just like your views on politics because like I think you're probably one of the most Captain America s dudes I know, like just pure heart. You know what I mean?
Captain America, I like Captain America.
Yeah, like you're Steve Rogers of real life to me sometimes. I think because like
Well,
whenever I see you dude doing something, I'm like, that's badass. That's a good guy.
well, let me tell you, the whole and we're getting closer and closer. I'm going to tell you that is that we're getting closer and closer to getting something more out of this whole mess of AI. Let me tell you,
Oh,
we're getting closer and closer. That's all I can really say about that. But going to Washington to speak before Congress and stuff was a big deal to me. It was, and I also spoke. I spoke to the board of the accreditor. I
really?
spoke before them. Oh yeah, and I spoke to a member of the Biden administration about our situation and how because there's a huge thing on loan forgiveness. Possibly we are going to be of high priority in uh, it's just going to take some time. That's the thing. Because due to COVID and due to other colleges that had a situation. I don't know if you saw the article I shared, but they did forgive some people's loans on what do you call them? Those that went to Corinthian colleges because that situation was bonked. Not to say our situation wasn't bonked, but those that went to Corinthian colleges got their loans forgiven. ITT Tech is going to be next, probably with us. I'm going to say that if we're going to get loan forgiveness. But everyone is going to get the Biden administration has made it known that they want to forgive everyone $10,000, which is cool. Cool. I have a loan of like 24,000, close to 30,000, whatever.
Same.
Um, So if I can get my loans forgiven, that'd be great. Um, and that's all because I transferred to Full Sail University and had to take on an additional year of school. Um, and also, the Dream Center owes me a $5,000 grant that I never got for transferring to a new school to finish my degree. So that's something that's going to possibly happen because I'm going to fight tooth and nail over it.
Good, man. Good.
And I'm fighting tooth and nail for everyone to get loan forgiveness because this is ridiculous. The fact that we got that our school closed, the thing about the school closing, that's the frustrating part. This is what people don't get. It's not about the money. It's not about that. It's not about the degree. It's not about any of that. The school is gone. That's the part that upsets me. The school is gone. The thing that was supposed to be our gateway to other opportunities is gone. Mm-hmm. We were supposed to be able to use that school to collaborate, to do things, to utilize their equipment when necessary. It's gone. It's it's rubble. It's nothing. It is plant feeder right now. We were supposed to be able to use that space to collaborate and to do more projects and stuff. We cannot do that now. We are stuck to buy our own equipment. I bought a close to $800 mixer.
Jeez.
Because I want to create professional quality work that I know I can create. I bought all kinds of things. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Before I was even kicked out, bro, like I pretty much had to invest in a lot of things because I was pretty much being kicked out of the school when I was going there because I couldn't afford the housing and like I was trying to work a double job to even afford housing in the school because I got screwed over hard. Dude. Like apparently my grants and scholarships didn't go through. Like they made up some excuse and then they lost my paperwork, and I'm just like, what do you mean you lost my paperwork?
Like, oh, that's ridiculous. I can't even. See, and that's everyone's had a different experience with AI, and that's frustrating. And you know what sucks though is that the instructors then also become a part of it. I don't blame. This is the thing. I don't blame the instructors. I blame the corporation involved. I don't blame. Like I'm not. I don't hate. This is my thing. Like I don't hate Nia or Ryan. I might hate Ryan. But I have a love-hate relationship with Ryan Black. I can name him by name. I don't care. I have a love-hate relationship with Ryan Black and George because they stole stuff instead of trying to help us. So there's that. And yeah, dude. I mean, I like Rosa. I like Nia. They were good people. The other instructors that kind of just jumped ship were kind of cowardice, if I had to be frank. But I get it. It's what it is.
You know one instructor that really stood up for a lot of us?
Which is that?
Kenan.
Kenan? Yeah, Kenan's a good guy.
Yeah, dude, he spoke on my behalf on why I should stay in school because it was just so much going on. It was because of the payments, the jobs, and my grades were slipping because I was pretty much putting double to afford my housing.
Kenan's a good guy.
Oh yeah.
Kenan's a really good guy. He's like an actual teacher too, or he's an actual instructor. So Kenan's a good guy. Frank Acton's a good guy. They're good.
I love Frank.
They're good people. That's the thing. They're good people that were involved in a bad situation that they didn't know was bad, and it's unfortunate.
It really is.
But that's where I'm at with AI, and you know what? The book. What sucks is the book is closed for a lot of people, but the book's still open for me. I still am fighting and doing a bunch of things for you guys and stuff because I want everyone to the it's because there's still a fight going on with everything, and I want everyone to be able to say to themselves, I'm okay right now. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I can do these things and I can do the things that I want to do. So that's my goal. And I also want to do something for myself in the sense of I want to get the money that I'm owed. I don't want, all that out of pocket costs that should have never happened. You know what I mean? Like,
Definitely.
so, because my dad paid like close to 30,000 out of pocket because it was split in half. So it's not it's just not fair. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I have a degree now through Full Sail University. I have a bachelor's degree in science for audio production. Um, I don't know what I could do with it, but I could do something with it. Now I'm trying to get certified in personal training so I could have an immediate source of income. I work at a gymnastics gym, so yeah, it's which is rough because it's a lot of hours, and I gotta. It, it's just not ideal right now. You know what I mean? Like I'd love to have a different job where where it's flexible and I get a lot of money coming in. So
I feel you, bro.
it's tough right now, but I know it'll get better is where I'm at. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
mean, I recently had a mental health struggle because of life and how everything was, and COVID didn't help, and yeah, it's one of those things. You know what I mean?
hmm like me and Will touched on it a little bit, like how it seems like mentally everyone went through something with the Art Institute. Like a lot of people got depressed, like a lot,
Yep.
and
Yep.
it's crazy to know that I wasn't the only one feeling it. He wasn't the only one feeling it. It was damn near the entire class, like not class, but everyone in the
Yep.
school.
Everyone in the school was feeling it, and um it's sad. It's really, really sad that that wasn't, it sucks. I wish that the school could have been what it was supposed to be, but it wasn't. And that sucks. I wish the school could just still be there. That one of the biggest things is that I wish it could be there just for us to do things in, just for us to create, but it's not there anymore, and that sucks. Which, speaking of which, not that I'm going to talk about something that sucks, but on another topic, um, everyone's got to go to the Woodfield Mall this weekend. The reason why I say this, because the Woodfield Mall is now host like a huge event where it's a bunch of people that would be going to like Rosemont Comic Con and all that stuff, and they're all there with crafts and stuff of that nature for
Ooh.
this weekend. I mean, you got people making art commissions. You got people posting their art. It is like masks and different things. You gotta go. I mean, it's something to see.
Oh yeah, everyone, please go check that out. I might go today. This today, right?
I'm go- yeah, yeah. It's today and tomorrow. It was a little, and it was yesterday too. I'm going today because I have to do a sale, so I'm selling a piece of my equipment. But yeah, it's yeah, it's a huge deal. It's great. It's a great it's a great thing, and you support local. In a sense, you're supporting local businesses. You're supporting businesses that would have been getting businesses at Comic Con.
Okay, guys. So for those who don't know, Whitfield Mall is located in Schaumburg. For those who remember, it was by the Art Institute where it used to be,
Yes, right there,
right there. Past,
Woodfield Mall in Schaumburg.
yep. Where you see that Olive Garden and Steakhouse, you pull it right in there. You're there.
Yup, pull up right in there.
So speaking of Whitfield Mall, I remember my first time going out there because when I first started the Art Institute, I didn't have a car, and
Yeah,
I was just kind of exploring the area, and Whitfield caught my
sure.
attention, right?
Yeah,
And honestly, like I wasn't for sure, but when like I think it was like A and W's or whatever restaurant was in there originally. I was like, is that RJ? Like I couldn't
Oh
tell.
yeah,
I couldn't tell if that was you or not. I was like, should I approach? Would that be weird? What do I do?
that's so funny. I think I remember that. I think I remember seeing you there. So A&W I used to go to a lot because there's no A&Ws like anywhere except, and it would be except for the Woodfield Mall. It's like there isn't a restaurant there now, but that's only because the food court took over that, the food pavilion now. But yeah, that's an interesting story.
Yeah, like
It,
sorry, go ahead.
I would walk to the Woodfield Mall from the school. And you know what's so funny about you saying that you didn't have a car is that I started driving so I can go to the Art Institute. So I had $1,000 that was in like a whatever fund or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a mutual fund, and all that was in there was $1,000. And I spent it on a used car that I had for like 2 or 3 years. And yeah, it's funny. I would walk to the mall and it would feel, you know what? Going to the mall made me feel like I was on a college campus because I was able to walk to the mall or walk to streets of Woodfield.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I did. I would walk to the mall and I'd walk to streets of Woodfield. And I felt like, oh man, this is like college. This is the college feel when it really wasn't. I mean, it wasn't college, but like it felt like college. You know what I mean? Like
Oh yeah.
if I did a class and then I was like, I walked to Woodfield or I walked to Shop House, and Shop House was great. I missed Shop House. Now they got BB Bop, and I don't trust that because it's not Shop House.
I used to work at Shop House.
I know you used to work at Shop House. I loved Shop House. Mitch used to work at Shop House too.
Oh yeah.
And I would get all those coupon things, and where it was 2 for 1. And I'd be like, give me two because I want them. And yeah, I miss Shop House a lot.
Man, I don't know if you remember, but there was like there was always that little bar there that was trying to advertise to the students a lot. What
Yeah,
was it?
the Bar Louie.
Yeah. There was this one guy. He was he. I don't know what he was, because for a second I thought he was Caribbean, but his accent was just like throwing me off. And he was like, "Hey, bro, you gotta come out check us out, man. There are a lot of pretty girls there, man. I bet man like you. I'm pretty sure all the ladies be on you." I'm like, "Well, thanks for the comforting."
Jesus.
I was like, "Thanks for a comforting lie, but I'll check it out."
Jesus. Bar Louie, I went there once because Chance and his stupid pyramid scheme, and whatever, when Chance was involved in the pyramid scheme, I don't even know if he's involved in that anymore. Probably not, because that's also like disappeared. Um, Lloyd Agencies, I think that's gone now. But it's interesting. We went there for food and stuff. We had like some appetizers, and they had these boneless wings, and they literally looked like chicken chips or something. They didn't look like actual boneless wings. I was like, what the fuck is this? What is this? And they had like pretzel bites, and I'm like, these pretzel bites are cold.
Oh no.
So that place sucks. Bar Louie is such, it was so sucky place. They used to be Pizzeria Uno, and I was excited to go to Pizzeria Uno, and unfortunately, it became Bar Louie, and it's such a garbage fest.
Who are you telling, man? Speaking of pyramid schemes, when I went to Arts too, I got sucked into one because I get let go of from Shop House, and
Right.
like, I was desperate for a job, and like this one place was like, "Hey, why don't you come in for an interview?" And they're like, "Well, after some consideration, we love your personality and we think you'll be good for us." I'm like, "Oh, great, great. What exactly are we doing?" "Oh,
Yeah.
we're a multi whatever, blah blah blah."
Multi-level marketing.
Yeah, I was like, I have no idea what that is, but all I gotta do is call people. Okay, I have my own phone though. That is a little suspicious.
Yeah, sales is I hate the people that call it sales because it's not sales. Multi-level marketing is like the biggest scam on the planet. I hope everyone that listens understands that and never does it. I
Please
can
don't.
name
No,
off.
never
Let's
do
see.
it. Never do
Let's
it.
let's let's see if I can name them off. So like Alloyd
Cutco.
agencies. Let's see. Alloyd agencies. Yeah, no. Don't do that. It's garbage. That's also bad. What's the one with the wings? Um, something wing. Don't do that. Just don't do them. They're stupid. Um, one that I haven't found out whether or not they are one yet because they're so big. But New York Life Insurance Company,
Oh my god.
I don't know if they are a multi-level marketing
They,
company.
dude. They damn
They
well.
have to
They
be.
have to be because okay. I don't know why or who, but someone gave them my number and they blow me up like every day. I'm like,
They have
take
to be.
me off your call thing.
They have to be a multi-level marketing thing because this is like garbage. Like, okay. You could even okay, so you could find them on Wikipedia, right?
Hmm.
Oh my God. Operations, asset management. Yeah, look them up on Wikipedia. You tell me that because it feels like a pyramid scheme type of deal, but it's not. It's like you just investing money in a account and stuff like that. That they invest for you. I hate the words invest for me because I don't want you investing my money
Money
for
for
me.
me.
I want to know what you're investing my money in. Because if the US economy crashes, I want my money. Like,
Private mutual. I don't trust this.
yeah.
I,
So
I've
if
never trusted them.
I would rather go through an actual bank than whatever that is.
I'm so glad you brought up banks because I bank with Chase Bank, right? And
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but last year they had like this huge hack where someone stole out everyone's accounts, and I got
Oh
affected
my
by it.
God.
Yeah, I got affected by it. Okay, this isn't much to lose, but I lost like $50. That's all I had in my account. It's not much, but I'm like,
That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate.
it really was. I was like, hey, someone took my $50, and they're like, oh, you were affected by the hack too. I'm like, yes, I want my $50 back. I'm trying to get Happy Meal for my
Trying to get a
niece,
happy meal here, please.
basically.
Don't
And,
take my $50.
bro, I was so disappointed because my little I called her my niece, my god sister. Uh, she was just like really excited. She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get me a little toy in there," and then my card doesn't go through. I'm like, "What?" I check my app. I'm like, "Where did my money go?" And she's like, "It's okay. If you have no money, it's okay. It's okay." I'm like,
That's
"Oh,
cute.
it hurt though." I'm like, my pride,
Yeah.
because she's a good kid, and I wanted to get her something. No, it wasn't
Yes.
much, but get her something nice. And she was just like, "It's okay. It's okay." She's like two. It's okay.
It's okay.
I'm like, I was like, thank you. She's like, we go play.
Thank you.
We go play. I'm like, yeah, we can go play.
Yeah, we'll go play. That is cute.
Like just that experience. I'm like, man, imagine if I actually had a kid and that was the case, and I'm like, I would feel like a piece of garbage.
I know. I always imagine if I ever had a kid.
Man, like it's just kind of good to know like how everyone's life is going. I know a lot of us like do have kids now, which is crazy to me, and a lot
Yeah.
of us are still bachelors. Shouts out to boy Chase. He's
Chase has got a family.
no, no, he doesn't have kids. He's a bachelor.
Oh, okay.
So is
Oh,
Carter.
yeah.
So is Carter. But knowing Chase, he's probably going to think if it says something else. It's not. I'm not talking shit yet. So I don't know if you ever experienced this at the artist too, but there was a kid named Sean. He was kind of a
Yeah.
dyslexic, and
Yes, yes.
he constantly talked about Dragon Ball Z, constantly, and was always asking people for Mortal Kombat codes because Mortal Kombat X was big at the time, and it
Yes.
was it was just such an awkward situation. Like Sean Haynes, you remember him, right?
Yes.
Nice guy. I
I
love
do.
him. I love him, but he was like, I cannot stand that kid. I'm like, Sean, really? He's like, yeah,
No.
yeah, no, no, not him.
No.
Man, Sean Haynes was the nicest guy I ever knew. He helped me out. He helped me get through my math classes. That guy was a saint, man.
That's good.
It was sad to
I
know.
remember
Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I remember I remember when who was it? I'm trying to remember. There's another Sean who was watching like hentai in the middle of class.
The same guy, the same guy.
Is
Sean
that
Haynes
that
didn't like.
same?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, the Sean you're talking about was the one who was watching hentai. Like Sean Haynes, the nice Sean I called him, nice Sean, didn't like him either, and like he liked everybody. But
Yeah,
the Sean you're talking about, you remember when everyone got those Trojan
yeah,
horses?
yes.
He caused that.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
that's insane.
he was watching decapitation porn and hentai on all the school's
That's great.
computer.
That's great. Oh my god.
But it gets crazier, RJ. Uh, he was pretty much being manipulated by another guy named Troy, who wore like this weird hat, and
Oh my god. Wait. Yeah. Okay. No, I know what you're talking about.
yeah, dude, it was this whole thing. Like
That's messed up.
it really is. Like Carter was telling me everything Troy was doing. He was like, dude, he was behind the entire thing. He told
Oh
Sean
my
to watch
god.
porn on the computers. He told Sean to freak people out. I'm like, what kind of comic book storytelling bullshit is this?
It's so funny. That's
It's
fucking funny.
it's funny but disturbing.
That is really disturbing. That's funny as fuck though.
All right, so it seems like we reached an hour. So I just want to know, RJ, do you want to keep it going or do you have something to do?
I had something to do. I'm gonna make this sale, so I'm gonna sell I think three pieces of my equipment. They're like old and I don't use them, so I'm gonna let you go. But this was a great time.
Definitely, man. Is there anything else you want to advertise before we logged off for the day?
Stay on the lookout for products of me, whatever. Like, I want to do my podcast, The Mental Block, but I don't have a lot of time, so it's kind of difficult for me to do that. It's going to be a live stream type of podcast where I just talk for a while with people. And then also keep on the lookout for anything post cut podcast related, because most likely I'll be a part of that. So, that's all I got for screen time at that point.
All right, you guys, be sure to check that out because RJ does have a lot of insightful things to say. As you saw today, if you want to talk wrestling, you want to talk politics, this is your guy. This is your guy.
Yep. Check me out specifically at the Mental Block if you want to hear more of that. Most definitely. Once I start, doing it.
Remember, that's going to be Mental Block. And where can I watch the Mental Block?
They can watch the Mental Block live via YouTube Live, Facebook Live, and maybe Twitch, and we could do something like that. That's the plan, but we got to see where that goes.
All right, RJ, man, it's good. Hope we have you as guests again, bro, and you have a great day. All right.
All right, you too, brother. I'll catch you later, Angelo.
Catch you later. Peace.